Hey everyone, it's Justin here, Voices for Voices. Thank you much for watching, listening here in the United States or a territory, province, country outside of the United States. We're grateful to have you with us. If you can give us a big thumbs up, like, follow, subscribe, share, reshare, repost, and even reach into your phone and share the Voices for Voices podcast with maybe 25, 50, 75, or 100 of your contacts. You won't be disappointed, and your contacts will not be disappointed as well. And we wouldn't have a show if it wasn't for you. So thank you for tuning in. Over 530 episodes. Just it's just a true miracle that we've made it this far. So thank you for making the show what it is. Thank you for the demand, the watching and listening. And we're just so grateful to have you with us. It's just uh, it's a big blessing to um, to know we're reaching so many people, helping so many people, all on our journey to reach and help at least 3 billion people over the course of my lifetime and beyond. So thank you again. And we're going to jump into this particular episode of the show. Uh, how's everybody feeling? I guess I I don't know if I've ever asked that. Uh, Hopefully we're feeling good, feeling okay. That's one of the questions that uh, my therapist and psychiatrist they ask at the very beginning of our appointments. How you doing? How are things? How are you feeling? And easily you could say, "Oh, I'm feeling great." Well, you can hear in my voice when I say that doesn't really sound like that it's great or good or not. And that's probably why it's one of the questions that gets asked. How are you doing? How are you feeling? And I know many years ago, I would say, "Oh, I'm feeling good." And then as soon as, we walk back to the office and start the appointment, and then almost everything I would talk about would be something stressful, something that is not good, not great, not excellent. And I just had to take myself back to that point just now. And then once I bring myself back to where we're at now, I'm I'm more, I don't say more honest, but I, I'm more likely to say really what's how things are going. Yeah, it's easy to say, oh, things are going good, things are great, yeah. But now I say, not good, not great, could be better. And then when things are okay and good, then I say that. But I don't say it just to get the conversation started as I used to. And I think it's helpful, not just for, when we go for therapy and all those things. Uh, it is helpful for us to be true to ourselves, to be true to ourselves as well. I mean, while I don't wake up and go, "How are you feeling, Justin?" I don't do that. We can be a little more truer, nose itches, a little bit truer to ourselves uh, when things aren't going great, when we need a little bit of a break, we need a rest, we need to, step away from the work, the projects. Doesn't mean we're stopping forever. It just means that I need a day off. Like I go to the gym 2 days in a row, and then I take a day off. I think there was one time I went 3 days in a row and then took a day off. Sometimes our mind, what's the saying? Our eyes are bigger than our stomach. Like if we see a lot of food and we're hungry, we order more food than what what our body can digest at a particular time. While our eyes are like, yeah, 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 yeah. I can eat this and that, and I'm starving and not. You get the idea. I'm not poking fun at because there are people who are actually starving. For me, when I say that, it just means I'm very hungry. Or if you were to say that, and so we see food, we smell it, oh, maybe it's lasagna, maybe it's a pizza, maybe it's a sub sandwich. Could be any number of things. But again, we sometimes are untrue to ourselves in those instances. There's also a saying, probably shouldn't go grocery shopping when you're hungry because we might buy more things than we need because we're feeling hungry, like, this particular food. Again, I'm hungry, so yeah, I'll definitely eat that. I'll definitely eat this. And it all comes back to the same thing, being true to ourselves and not letting those fluctuations take us on the journey that isn't really true. Like we may be hungry, but doesn't mean we can eat all these types of foods and all of all these desserts and and all that, brings us back to with the mental health or any doctor appointment or any appointment, any conversation. How are things going? How are you doing? As I mentioned before, when I'm at the gym, like I just want to work out and get out. I see individuals who they may sit and stand and talk for 10, 20 minutes. Nothing wrong with that. I just realized that that's just not me. Like I'm there to work out, I'm there to do the exercises, I'm there for a specific reason. I don't do great with the small talk. Just don't. And I think that's why when I get to a therapy appointment, whether it's a therapist or whether it's a psychiatrist or ner nurse practicing psychiatrist, that I kind of get to the point, and I used to think it was a flaw of mine. Like sometimes people would say, well, they're not being mean to you. They're just asking how your day is. Yeah. How's it going? How are you? My mind I my mind just doesn't do well with the small talk. I It's taken me a lot of years to figure that out. Number one, to figure it out, and then number two, be to be okay with it, to stay within myself. And that's hard to do sometimes, to stay within ourselves. We may watch or listen to a show or people in public, and but again, I have to do what is familiar to me. And so every day I'm working on it. It's not to be mean to other people. I mean, if there's an outgoing person or an extrovert, like I said, they could have a conversation for 10, 20 minutes. And I look at that as time wasted. That I really want to get my get my workout in and get out so I can get the day started or continue the day. So I think remaining focused is a big deal. It's when we're chasing the shiny object or the shiny conversation. That we're like, And there's nothing wrong with having those conversations. None at all. But I gotta stay within myself. What helps me the most. And that could change day to day by, how we're eating, how we're sleeping, among other things. So it's not a one size fits all. It's not. Sometimes it could seem like that, maybe to the outside world. Like, well, that when I was talking to Justin one time, this is how the conversation went. And then I saw him again a different day, and it was much different. Well, that's kind of how it goes. Well, I haven't been technically diagnosed with bipolar. It's one of the areas that I think at given times I can go from way up here, happy, feeling validated, feeling confident, to down here of what's this life for? I just want to rest. I just don't want to do a whole lot right now. Maybe it's not bipolar. I don't know. It just feels at times where it's a roller coaster. It's up and then it's down and up and then it's down. And so all we can do is do our best. We know nobody's perfect. I like the one yoga instructor I had a lot of years ago, and he went around the room and was asking everyone who was there about like what's yoga mean to them? Some people were saying, kind of like to be in perfect harmony, something like that. And what the instructor was looking for was to try to be as close to being in balance, right? Like imagine if you're able to standing up and then lifting one leg up and you're trying to balance on the the leg that is planted on the ground. So we're just trying to find like that equilibrium, that being in balance. And so when we have those conversations about mental health, I think that's really what we're searching for, is How can I get closer to be in balance, in equilibrium, and not worry about, oh, well, I messed this up, I screwed this up, I did great here, I did bad there. At the end of the day, we're gonna look back and kind of say, was I being true to myself? Was I being true to myself? Or was I trying to please somebody else? I'm trying to be true to myself the best that I can. There's pitfalls, there's hurdles, there's changing course, changing direction. But no matter what the adversity is, what may seem like an what may seem like an impossible feat, not feat, F-E-E-T, F-E-A-T. What may seem like I don't know how I'm going to get through this. That's where having a higher power really helps. Doesn't make everything great, just helps a little bit because we're able to put our faith in something that's bigger than us as an individual. Because even if we have a street named by us, a building named by us, I mean, there's only so many things that can happen like that. And then what? Then what? It's a little bit like I was thinking a couple days ago. You know, you can't bring your money, you can't bring your treasures with you when we leave this heavenly earth, or when we leave this earth. Yeah, I can make mistakes. We all do make mistakes. So we can't take those things with us. And so maybe we should spend a little less time dwelling on them. And lastly, we talk about having a university building named after us, our family, a road, a street named after us. Time comes and time goes. And I call this the exiled. You have a list of names and addresses for or from a wedding, or just who we send cards to for different occasions. The X out is when a person passes away. I'm just going to use Tom and Jerry. You have Tom and Jerry. Tom passes away, goes to heaven. On that list, Tom gets X'd out. And when we send cards, we address it to Jerry because Tom's no not living on Earth anymore. So that's the X out. It's going to happen to all of us at one time or another. And you might be thinking, oh, yeah, that makes sense. It does make sense. But that's what our minds go to when we have too much time, when we're not occupying it. It's like, I'm just going to be another number. I'm just going to be another name that's going to get X'd out, crossed out, a line through it. However, however we want to think about it. But each holiday season comes on that list. I hope not, but more than likely there's going to be somebody throughout the year that passed away. And so they get X'd out, crossed out. So to wrap it up, we should just be true to ourselves. We should be upfront. We go to therapy. How are you doing? I'm doing great. I'm not doing great. There's no need to try to say, oh, we're doing great. And then, like I said, then I would sit down and then I would just go for 50 minutes on all the different things that aren't great or aren't good. When if I would have just started it, like, they're not that good. Could have got to the point much quicker. And we're all going to be X'd out at some point. I go to the cemetery where dad's at, not just around holidays, but for this example, there's holidays, drive through the cemetery and see flowers here and there, and but it seems like there's more. that don't have flowers, than those that do. And that's part of what kind of makes me feel sad because that person or that persons have been X'd out and maybe all their family has been X'd out too as time goes on. So there's nobody there to visit, nobody there to take flowers, and it makes me feel sad. So while we're on Earth, let's do what we feel like we're called to do. Because again, none of us are getting out of this alive. We're just not. There's a finite amount of time that we're going to live on Earth. And at the end of that time, we're going to be X'd out. So be you, be passionate, be a person of conviction, do what makes you happy and legal. And let's try to make those worries as small as possible and make those dreams as big as possible. So thank you for joining us on this episode. If you give us a thumbs up, like, follow, subscribe, share, reshare, repost, reach in, pull out your phone, share the Voices for Voices podcast with 25, 50, 100 contacts in your phone. We greatly appreciate it. We greatly appreciate you. And you can find the Voices for Voices podcast anywhere you get your podcast. And if you are able to, we do accept donations that are here in the United States, 100% tax deductible because Voices for Voices is a 501c3 nonprofit charity organization. And you can do that at lovevoices.org. 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 So until next time, Justin Allen Hayes, we're signing off. Let's celebrate all the voices in the world and let's be a voice for ourselves and those in need. We'll see you next time, everybody. Stay safe. We're sending love and support to you and yours. Bye bye for now.